don't look 29.
No.
Right? Thank you. That's
If
good.
you shave this all off, you would look 18.
Definitely, yeah.
Same thing with me too.
Yeah, they asked me for ID to buy cigarettes. Like, what the fuck? I haven't
Still?
paid for that shit. Yeah,
I don't
still, no
It's gonna
joke.
be happening, man.
Yeah. So I started skating like recreational skates, you say?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was like 5, I just took skates from my brother, just went down in the hood, skated. And when I was 7, my dad took me to one of the only wooden skate parks back in the day. It was 97, I guess. And there was a half pipe, like a vert, but not super big, like 3.5 meters. I don't know.
It's
Pretty
big.
big.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but it's not like a vert.
not a vert,
It's like
but
a
it's
5
big.
meters.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like somewhere just in between, but good enough to skate and practice. And it was the good old, with punk rock.
Was there a big
and-
vert scene then growing up? Because you started that, or was you
kind
like the only one?
of. No. There was a scene there. It was the 90s. There was a scene everywhere in the 90s.
But was
you
it
know?
mostly vert though? Like
Yeah. We
Okay.
skated like I grew up skating like with all the pads and like barely like
big
doing
knee pads for
yeah,
the vert?
big knee pads. I did a fakey 900 before I did a soul grind. You know what I mean? Like
Damn.
that was the times. Yeah, that
No
was the
way.
times. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't
I
skate
still haven't done a
street.
fakey 900.
I
I have soul grinds though.
yeah, well, I still have the same fakey 900 since I was 8. You
Yeah,
know,
it's so
like,
good. You were probably killing it back then because
it's
they're
the
so good
same
now.
trick for me. You know,
Yeah.
it's the same feeling. Nothing changed.
You
You
were
know.
doing that trick for like 20 something years.
Yeah, something. Yeah, actually, no. I stopped. I didn't do it for a while, but when I tried it again, it was like, bang.
Yeah.
You know, what you do when you were young, you got it
You don't
for
lose it.
life. You know, yeah. And we skated just with the whole like rock music, the whole punk and what was it, new metal, Limp Bizkit, all the Korn, all of this shit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
vibe. You know, and I did that for a couple of years, and that was like my main what I was good at, basically flips, spins.
It definitely shows in your skating now.
Yeah.
You could tell, like,
Yeah.
skating with general park skaters, if you, like, start skating park before street, it shows in your skating when you start skating street.
For sure.
You know how to control
sure.
yourself a lot
Sure.
better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Your spins on the grinds are way more controlled.
It's a good
Yeah.
base. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And it definitely shows in your skating, too. 'cause
Yeah.
most people nowadays don't skate like that.
I know.
It's a good
I
thing
know,
to have, too,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, I think like now the kids they can, because there's so many skate parks right now, so the kids kind of grow up
Yeah.
into skating parks, which I think is great.
Next
because-
generation might be
Yeah,
like that now.
totally.
Because this is skating, you know. Like I'm saying, like this is not like grind blading. This is not like, I mean, it's part of it, of course, but it's not like 2 steps jumping on a
No,
rail. This is not the
that's
only
not
thing, you
skating,
know.
yeah.
You need to cruise, you know. Sometimes you see like someone that is so technically good on rails, but you see him skate, and not to offend anyone, but you almost feel like not embarrassed for him, but like I could find someone who is like 50 years old who only did recreational, and it looks like he has more control on his skates, you know. So I think this is very important, like not to take anything away from rail skating, like
Yeah,
fuck that shit is
Absolutely.
rough, you know.
Yeah.
But and I know because I started like skating street. Well, I will just go to the beginning, right? So around the age of 14 plus minus, I kind of stepped out of skating because, like, honestly, just because I was like growing up in the hood, and like it wasn't cool. Like with the hood guys and my friends, who was a little bit more like problematic, and we were doing all kinds of whatever, you know. And this wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. Skateboarding's not cool. Rollerblading's not cool. None of this shit was cool,
Yeah.
you know. And it kind of took me away. I went that path. Like, I guess I had to go through that path, but this is where it took me. And I stopped skating for about 7 years, like almost completely. Like maybe
That's a huge break.
Yeah, that's a big break, and that's in the time when you actually learn and you like physically
Yeah.
develop, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, you start going from like a little guy with no strength in your muscles to, you know,
Developing.
and you learn everything at that time, and that was the time I stopped, which is kind of sucks when I look back at it, but whatever. That was my path in life. It's
Yeah.
it's
Accept
not
it.
not you know.
So what were
Yeah.
you doing? Like gangster stuff? With some...
I mean,
Yeah, what was cool if
I
skating
mean,
and skateboarding and shit wasn't cool?
yeah, pretty much gangster stuff. Yeah,
Gangster
I don't know. smoking, doing drugs, like selling
Okay.
drugs, like whatever. You don't want to
Gotcha.
hear all that
Yeah,
shit.
gangster
But,
shit.
but you know,
Real-
you know,
real
you know.
street
Bad stuff.
Yeah, like real, sometimes real bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like people getting whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was so like looking back at it. I don't know why I was so drawn into it. I guess it was something. I mean, I know why, but you know, my childhood was a little bit rough. So I guess I went with the kids who I felt like
Rough kids.
some connection with, you know, and yeah, but whatever. No war stories too much, but
How did you get back into it then? What made you
Well-
come back in?
well, when you go down that path, you get slapped a lot, especially if you are not built for that path, you know? And it's something that it takes you time to understand, like, okay, this shit is not for me. And when I was like, I took a couple of like slaps from life, like one of them was prison, and I was sentenced to 1 year for selling drugs when I was 19 years old. And when I got out of it, I actually was very fortunate to meet up like a woman who was my parole officer, and she like really like kind of believed in me and put me in a program to get clean and leave the drugs, like stay off the drugs and all of this shit. And I believed in that woman, and you know, she really helped me, and I'm still friends with her. And yeah, and when you kind of take this like this kind of dark path, and when you kind of stop with it and you kind of wake up again, the first thing, or for me at least, you know, I can only speak about myself, but the first thing that happened to me is like going back before that path. You know what I mean? And going
what
back.
you used to do. Like,
Yeah, that
Exactly.
makes
You know, like
sense.
who was you before you all of this bullshit? You know,
Yeah.
who was you? And the first thing that came up is rollerblading. You know, because that was my childhood. I was like all of the kids I see here today. You know, and I put my skates on. I had like I think like a USD Gricon. Is that a
Oh,
Gricon?
shit, damn.
Yeah,
Gricon.
some
Yeah.
shit.
yeah.
And it was the gray ones, and I put them. They were small, but I went to the skate park. I skated 1 hour. There was a little half pipe there. The skate park was already closed, the one that I grew up, but there was another one. I skated for 1 hour, and I swear
yourself?
to
You just
God,
went by yourself like
no, there was one friend there, Yotam, good friend of mine, and he was there, kind of waiting for me. You know, like he took me back, kind of. You know, he's younger than me. I kind of like taught him how to skate. You know, he's like 5 or 6 years younger. And when I came back, he was already really good because he kept skating, you know,
okay.
and he was like,
You're
come
like,
on,
damn,
you
I
know.
gotta catch up.
Yeah. But that took a while. But first thing I did is 1 hour session. I will never forget that. All I did was fakie 5, backflip, fakie misty. That's the only thing I could do, you know. And I swear to God, I was like head to toe, all my muscles were like cramped. Like
Yeah.
I was not in shape,
Yeah.
bro. Looking back at it, the fact that I can skate the way I do right now, it's amazing because I was 20 years old. I was in a shape of like, I don't know, like a 50 years old guy who didn't do sports his whole life or something. You know, I was dead. So
The
one
next day
session,
probably sucked.
the
Super
next
sore.
week,
Yeah.
next week, you know, I was really fucked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
So wait, so you were throwing backflips your first hour back on skates after 7 years?
you know,
So that-
yeah,
That's
because
what you know.
that's what
That's
you
so
do.
crazy.
That's what I do. You know, that's what I. It's funny because even nowadays I kind of like. I kind of go back to it a little bit to do flips. Like I think like maybe it wasn't that cool for me the last couple of years, but now I kind of figure like, okay, this is what I'm good at, and I can make it look good. So why not? You know, and this is in
That's
my
what makes
blood.
skating
I-
you.
yeah, kinda. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what is skating me anymore because I changed so many like styles or ideas or like what
Yeah.
I believe in or what I want to see. You know, now it's
Always evolving.
yeah. Now, yeah, of course, we have to evolve.
Yeah.
I think this is the most important. Like don't stay the same always because it's like in a different subject, but it's like it's bigger than us. You know, it's like the if we look like the way I see it is like there's the blade game, right? And then there is like the bigger picture, the bigger games, you know, like skateboarding is part of the bigger game, music is part of the bigger game, you know. We're like a little boat in the sea.
Totally.
And you know, and if a wave decides that it comes and takes us, it comes and takes us, you know what I mean?